first thing you know, I'm in the nose. All I see is a bunch of what looked like wood sticks, a whole flock of wood sticks pushing right up in front of the nose, and then a big black whoom go by. What in the hell was that? We couldn't possibly, we never saw anything go straight up, and it didn't even look like an airplane. Then came the top turret firing away, and oh my God, what's happening? I jumped up and stuck my head in the Navigator's Astrodome, and sure enough, there we were being attacked by the first operational jet combat aircraft of World War II. It had, I should back up, it had 4 .30 caliber cannons in the nose, one of which could easily blow you out of the sky. But it was hard to aim them. So what they did, they added on this rack of R4M rockets, 12 apiece on each wing. And they would fire 12 of them at one time. And it was equivalent to flying like with a shotgun. You know how it spreads out versus an arrow, a rifle. And when they let those go, it was almost impossible to meet it. But here we were being attacked by 2 of them. Not 1, but 2. And they had a very unique attacking method that I'll try to here. If you just envision this is number 13 out here. They would always come in at 5 o'clock level. And when they got within the range of the 50 caliber guns, in order to get shot, they would take this evasive action. First one would roll over, go down and roll back up, and then come in and rake the whole bottom of the ship, usually blowing it up. But this guy shot out a little too late, and that was the sticks that I saw going right by the nose. We went by. The other one, which was a little behind, he would roll over upside down and come swooping right down and letting go with these little rockets. I don't know whether you can see them under the wing there. And he'd come right down, and that's what blew the hole, this hole in the ship. And of course, the impact was so great that it immediately flipped us over and started us spinning in what they call the so-called death dive. The first thing I could see was here. This is what it looked like when we turned over. And of course, what it did was I was stuck to the ceiling. We were upside down, spinning straight on down. And there I was. My hands were like this in my head, and I couldn't even move my head. The centrifugal force was so great. But here, remember, I'm ready to die. So this is what it's like to die. Okay, get it over with, damn it, make it happen. Because the next thing, ships almost always exploded. I said, damn it, let it happen. And I kept screaming out loud. And then all of a sudden, boom, I was dropped hard on the floor of the compartment. And what happened, our pilot managed way down there to stop the spiraling and pull us out of the dive and pull us up, get us out of that dive. But immediately our waist gunner called up and he says, now we're down to about 10,000 feet. He says, I can see those 2 SOBs out there. They're coming after us to finish us off. I mean, they were determined to knock us out of the sky no matter what. And sure enough, there they were, 1 and 2, and they were trying to come at her no matter what. So we said, well, what do we do? What do we do? I don't know. Should we bail out or what? Everybody's screaming crazy, not knowing what the heck's going to happen. Says, let's get our fighter cover. Okay, our fighter cover at that time was the P-47s and the P-51s. So someone said, well, fire some distress flares. So what we did, we took this, what we called a very pistol, and fired any color flares we had in the ship. And whoosh, out of nowhere, this P-47 pilot appeared out of nowhere. And the son of a gun, he came in and he looked around, and what he did, he saw the 2 of them. They were coming back, the same as before, only this time they were not going to do the fancy evasive action. So he saw them coming right over, and what he did is he scooped right down. There they were out here, coming in, ready to fire the rocket straight at us. And he pulled himself right there on the wing and stayed there and refused to move. And they kept coming, and they weren't interested in getting him. Had they fired, the rockets would have gone right through him. He used himself as a shield. And they got so frustrated, just before they got within range of the 50s, they peeled off and disappeared in the clouds below.